Master P recently spoke to TMZ to share his thoughts on the tragic passing of DMX last week. Master P said that he hates seeing so many of our greats being taken away from us and wants to help come up with solutions to prevent similar death. Here's what he's suggesting. Take a look.
Imagine all the stuff that we could have prevented for DMX to help him. And I feel like hip hop needs some type of union. The NBA have it.
Wow.
You know, what happened when a guy fall off? You know, after he done sold millions and millions of records, even a female, what happened? We need that.
Ladies, what are your thoughts on what Master P is advocating for here? I mean, I think it would be an amazing thing to have a union, but I think it also would rely on like the JDs, Kanye, people like that who can come together and make a change to help fellow rappers. What do you guys think?
Well, I do know that there are two unions for musicians. One is SAG-AFTRA, because AFTRA was the radio artists, and it covers vocalists, which would cover the hip-hop artists. Because all the major record labels, they put in at least 12% of monies from those recording labels. So that would be covered. A lot of people don't know that. Plus you have the AFM, which is the American Federation of Musicians, which is also a union. The only reason why I'm saying that is that a lot of people don't know that, and they qualify, but they're not told that they qualify. And the thing is that although it may not, it would have helped him as far as when it comes to health care. Like he could have got health care to cover for drug and rehabilitation and stuff like that. Yeah,
therapy,
so I think that a lot of people, a lot of hip hop artists don't know that. But also, you would need, like you said, Garcelle, to have the Jay-Z's and the heads of hip hop work with those unions. And as a collective bargaining, you could work with those bad contracts that they get. I mean, because that's the thing that DMX always talked about, that he got a really bad contract and the record label was taking all of the money. So definitely, I hope that they learn from this, that they start working with SAG-AFTRA or the AFM, and maybe they can help future hip hop artists. Because it's just a shame that, they're dying like this, and they think that they don't have help when this money's being paid on their behalf for every album that they make.
Right.
Exactly.
Nobody knows. Because I was today years old when I found out that those two things existed for music, and I've been in the music industry since I was 14 years old, and I specifically remember doing stuff on Nickelodeon and Disney once I was like 15 or 16 and joining the union. I remember when I got my first SAG card, and that was major because that was now going to allow me to have health insurance. That was now going to allow me to have dental insurance. No, I can't see, to get my glasses and contacts. That was a whole other thing that they also had. But I remember it specifically being a really big deal to me because the first time I ever stepped foot on set, there were these laws that said that I could only work a certain amount of hours as a child. There were these laws that said I needed to have a break for school. There were laws that said that if I left a set at 10 o'clock at night, I couldn't return without my 12-hour turnaround, which meant I couldn't step back foot on set until 10 a.m. the next day. Yo, that was groundbreaking to me because that did not exist in the recording studio. They would have me working all night. When I say they, that includes myself. It was my dream and my passion. But there was no rules and regulations. I could work 24 hours straight in a recording studio and then wake up the next day and hit morning radio for promo. If I didn't get to eat, then I just didn't get to eat. I didn't get a meal break. If we had to shove chips in our mouth before, that was just how it was. And I know that a lot of kids have even gotten into drugs to keep up with the rigorous schedule, from cocaine to give them energy to be able to get through the crazy schedules of doing promo for music tours. And I did not know that that existed. So I don't think that even if you're part of those unions, I don't think those regulations are there.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's also really challenging in a culture where, and this is for me as a consumer, I'm not in there, so I can only speak from what I see, but in hip hop, it's not praised to reach out and ask for help. It's not something that is encouraged to say, I'm drowning over here. Like, if anything, the culture of looking like you don't have a problem and looking like you got a gun to answer your problems, or you're hard and you glorify Molly Percocet, like that's a very hard trend to be healthy in. And so not only do I think it's important to have a union, but more so, I think there needs to be a very, very safe space where you have a support group, where people are reaching out and checking on you. Anybody who knew him, anybody who knows anybody who's struggling. I have both in my family, people who have been incarcerated and people who are addicts. And both times, whether the family member was on probation, the one thing I heard that probation officer tell me in my face is, nothing is gonna save this individual from coming back into jail like family. You gotta show that person they got a home, you gotta show them that they can come and talk to you, show them they feel like they belong. Otherwise, they're out in that street looking for trouble, or trouble will find them. And the same thing with drugs. The craziest thing that is a fact that I've learned in AA is that, because I've been there to support other family members, is that people who are addicts are generally the most sensitive type of human beings you'll ever meet. Their emotional threshold is greater than some of the average people out there. And because of that, when pressures are too hard, you have to have something to run to that can mask it or tell you what you want to tell it, because you don't have a space for those emotions. So just remember that, yes, we need unions, yes, we need more funding to be able to protect people who aren't able to protect themselves, but there's nothing like a relationship. There's nothing like hearing from someone to say, I love you and you matter to me.
Having a village, having a community, having someone to have your back.
So
I
great.
agree.